Okay, so today we're delighted to have with us Mr. Ed Itor, who's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like being a newspaper editor.
What it's like being a newspaper editor? Oh, well, it's extremely exciting and enjoyable because every day is different and you never know what's going to be in the news every day. But it can be quite stressful and high pressured because you're always working to a deadline.
So what sort of choices do you have to make, Ed? In terms of what the journalists will come to you, will they, presumably, with different articles. What are you looking for in those articles?
Something that interests people, and people are interested in people, so effectively we're talking about stories about people.
Okay, and what about their audience? Do you look for different things if it's a broadsheet to maybe if it's a tabloid newspaper?
No, I think stories are intrinsically interesting to everyone, but it's just a different way of presenting the same story.
Could you give us an example then of how it might be different in a story that you were reporting on in a tabloid to a broadsheet, please?
Well, I think if you were doing for a tabloid, you would have to simplify it more, sensationalise it more to make it more emotive and more exciting. And for a broadsheet, it has to be straighter, but the thing about writing news articles is that you always have to get your point across early because people's attention goes quickly, and it goes even quicker if you're reading a tabloid newspaper. So it's important to always think about who, what, where, when and how, and think about what the most interesting bit of the story is, and that has to go at the top of your article.
So at the very top we have our headlines.
Yep.
I'm just going to show our viewers a couple of headlines from articles that you wrote before you were an editor and when you were a journalist.
Editors are journalists, by the way, but that was when I was a reporter.
I do apologise, Mr. Editor. Okay, so tell us a little bit about headlines, please.
The idea of a headline is to attract the reader's attention and encourage them to read your article.
Okay. Are you looking for quotes in your in the articles that you're including?
Like I said, news stories are interesting to people because they're interested in people. So you should always try and hear from the people involved in the story.
Fantastic. That's really nice being talking to you, Mr.
Oh, well, I must go because deadline is approaching. Hold the front page!